saved the best for last. It's time for a chat with Pat.
Yes, and talking about saints, right? Today we have with us Brian O'Neill. He's going to be talking about a new website, saintstombs.com. So we're going to talk about what that's all about. Brian is a writer, editor, publicist. He lives in Lansing, Michigan with his wife. He's written 3 books, all from Servant Press, 39 New Saints You Should Know, Saint Who, and 150 North American Martyrs You Should Know. He also works with Carmel Communications. Hello, Brian. How are you doing today?
Pat, I'm doing great. It's great to hear your voice, as always.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, Brian, I have been looking at this website. This is amazing. So tell us all about it. Tell us why you started this, what you hope it will do for us.
Well, I started it because I got home from Rome in 2003, and if you've ever been to the Eternal City, you have your
Yes,
guidebook.
Yep.
You go in, and you have more questions coming out than you did going in. And it got me really frustrated. And so I came back home and started to research these places to find out these answers to my questions. And then I learned in the process that this saint was buried here. And this venerable was buried over there. Just as one example, St. Monica, mother of St. Augustine of Hippo, in the same church she's buried, there's buried a guy named Venerable Giuseppe Minocchio. I could have prayed at his tomb. I could have asked for graces. I could have prayed for him.
Right.
I could have done all sorts of things, but because of my ignorance, I had no way of doing that. So I started compiling a list of saints and where they were buried. And that eventually also grew into different holy places and shrines. And I put together this list specifically so that one day I could build this website, which is designed so that if you're driving down the road, you pull up your tablet or your phone and you see, gosh, look, there's Smithville coming up. Let's see if there are any pilgrimage sites in Smithville. You can pull off the road, go to that pilgrimage site, get graces that you otherwise would have passed on by, and thus grow closer to Jesus Christ. And I want this I made this to be a project where no matter where you are in the world, whether here in North America or in Papua New Guinea, you can find a place to make a pilgrimage to. There are over 12,000 people listed on this site, venerables, servants of God, blessed saints, and then 133 countries, pardon me. So it's pretty extensive.
It is. It's amazing. So my question is, how long did you work on compiling all these saints before you got this up and running? This had to take some time.
It took 23 years.
Oh, that's all.
And what I would do, there's a website. If you search the term Patron Saints Index, it'll pull up on Google the website that I use. Today's, click on today's saints, and there's usually 10 to 20. Some are so old or so obscure, we don't know what happened to their remains.
Okay.
But many of them we do know. And, what especially took a long time are all of the martyrs from the Spanish Civil War, because, there were sometimes 75 a day for each of those. And yet I tracked them down to the best I could. If you see question marks on the under a city on the website, that means that person either died there or was buried there, but we just don't know where.
Okay.
But yeah, it just took a lot of assiduous work, I'm not done yet. I'm going back to another website that lists all of the canonization causes that have ever been introduced, and I'm just going back one at a time and looking up this servant of God or this venerable or this blessed, and hopefully one of these days we'll have 15,000 people up on there.
That'll be great, Brian. So, okay, I pulled up, because you said you can go to countries and, look. And I have a question because one of the things that I do with some of my friends every year is we do our own little pilgrimage. And so we go somewhere in the United States, and we go to a couple shrines, those kinds of things. And usually I dig, I find some things. But I have a question. When I'm looking at the United States, is everything listed there, is that a saint's tomb or are these shrines without tombs?
Yeah, so I make the point to say that this website has holy places, shrines, and the tombs of saints and potential saints. So it's all encompassing. So, for instance, the very first thing you'll see when you pull up the U.S. of A. is Alexandria, South Dakota, and they have a Fatima family shrine there. So, no saint is buried there, but it's still a place where you could go and make a pilgrimage.
Okay. So you kind of list then, if there is a saint there, you will say this saint is believed to have been buried there or is buried there, right? Is that kind of what you do?
Right. So just a little bit down from there, Andover Township, New Jersey, the servant of God, Marinus LaRue, is buried at St. Paul Abbey Cemetery. So if you ever find yourself in Andover Township, you can go make a pilgrimage. But Marinus, and here's the other thing. Marinus is a great example. If you go to these places, you're not just going to stop in and say, okay, well, here we are. You're going to try to learn about the person you're going to visit. And, Marinus has a great story. Most people have never heard of the servant of God, Marinus LaRue, but he was a sailor, and then he was a religious, and a lot of sailors have a veneration or a dedication to him.
Oh, my gosh.
But, unless you're going to these places, you will never probably have learned about them at all.
Exactly. And I find it interesting, Charles Carroll House in Annapolis, Maryland, St. Justin Martyr, relics are in the house attic, according to the last word. So, can you see them if you end up there?
That's a great question. I'm hoping
question.
Someone will go and say, nope, they don't know anything about him. But, I left no stone unturned. I wanted to find out where these places were and who was at them. And Charles Carroll House used to be, I believe, a seminary or a formation house for the Passionists or something. And they left because their numbers dwindled, unfortunately. But they put the relics up in the house attic. And so hopefully they're still there and just waiting to be discovered and repurposed into something more sacred than a dusty old attic.
No kidding. Oh, Brian, this is phenomenal. Again, saintstombs.com. I'm going to use it all the time, Brian. So thank you. At least for me, I'm excited about it. And I'm sure our audience is too. It's great. You have a great day, Brian. Thanks.
You too, Pat. Thank you.
Bye-bye.